Bam, how nice was it to be able to have that pushback late in the fourth and then obviously starting overtime the right way to get this desperately needed victory?
Man, we got to stop scaring ourselves like that. We got to stop doing that. But like I said, man, great win. Obviously, to kick off the post All-Star, great win for us. And, we had to do that on the defensive end. We got stops, and that's what mattered in OT.
Well, you had to close with defense. Your thoughts on how this intentional approach to offense that Spo talked about this morning with us is starting to form with you and Tyler and Wiggs at the top of it, and really focusing on making sure you guys are getting the touches you need to impact the offense early and often?
Man, Spo's just letting us be aggressive. He puts us in actions where all three of us are involved, and from there you let the players do their thing. So we're slowly starting to get our chemistry together, and we're gonna be all right.
Bam, a lot of times when a player misses a shot like that at the end of regulation, he might hang his head. You came out super aggressive. Jumper, and then get another one. How much was it your mindset, going to make up for that one, going to get this thing on the right side?
Yeah, it was a long fourth. I was getting a lot of cardio in. But, obviously when, that's what my guys want when I catch the ball, be aggressive, be assertive. And, once it goes in, it's like a domino effect. Then everybody starts wanting you to shoot the ball. So, I got some great teammates that get me involved when they pass me the ball.
What does it feel like to be tied for the all-time franchise lead in double-doubles?
Like I said, man, during my career I wanted to be top 3, top 2, even 1, when I retire. So, it's good to tie. Wrong right now, but obviously I got to pass you at some point, cyclically. So I'm sorry, you got to be second.
And last, Coach spoke about teams are going to play more small ball. They didn't have a lot of choice with the Raptors. You're out there guarding Scotty Barnes, playing small ball. How comfortable did that feel, and how enjoyable is it for you to get those kind of challenges?
I mean, this is good to, obviously be the vocal person, and, Scotty's their head of the snake. So just being vocal, getting everybody in their spots, and, doing my job and trying to get stops.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
First of all, let's talk about stepping to the line when needed and knocking down those 3 free throws, the mentality being whatever it takes to extend this game and get a win.
Yeah, I mean, the game was full of surprises, ups and downs. One team goes on the run, the other team goes on the run. And it was a close battle. We got going, especially in overtime, and pulled it up.
I was astonished at the nugget before the game. I didn't want to share it with you. I know you already know it. But getting your first win in this building in your career.
This is my first win.
First one. I didn't believe it either. But you were 0-6 coming in. And it's about time, I would imagine, to have a victory on your own soil.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know that. That's pretty crazy, but I'm glad I finally got a dub here.
And as it happened, it feels like the clarity that Spo was talking about and intentionality offensively to make sure that things are deliberately running through Tyler and Bam and yourself. How much closer you're getting to that comfort in that vibe and in this role?
I mean, I'm comfortable with it, for sure. But, every game just keep getting more and more situated, keep, building that chemistry up with the guys. And, we have a special squad here. We can do something special.
Do you sense this could be a takeoff point? I mean, you were waiting for that first win. It's been a week since the trade, and you just needed that to get over that hurdle now to become the best version of yourselves.
I hope. What I'm saying? That's all we can, just build on this game, piggyback on this game. This is a good dub. Now we got to go to Milwaukee, Atlanta, and get 2 more. And the road chip off, right? Go back home and get some more wins, and keep piggybacking it.
You've played with a balance in your career that you've had to defer at times, whether it was Clay, whether it was Steph, but also had to get yours. We saw that a little bit today. What's that balance now with Tyler and Bam to a degree, and knowing when you need to step up like you did on those 3 free throws?
I mean, they've been a great duo. They've been a great duo. You've seen in overtime, they started us off in overtime, getting us a nice little lead and, getting a nice rhythm. So playing with these guys, I feel like it's going to be easy. They're unselfish. They just want to win, and so do I.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tyler, just kind of walk us through what was needed, first of all, to lock this thing up, to get to overtime, and then the aggressive nature in which you guys went about closing this out.
Yeah, basketball's a game of runs. We were back and forth all night. I thought we stuck to the game plan pretty well. Obviously, ups and downs, but I thought we stayed together, stuck to the game plan. We executed down the stretch, and that was put us, above to go over the hump and then get the win.
How nice was it to have a critical defensive moment after you got a little elbow stinger on a 3 attempt? You come back around and reject a shot on the track down block.
Yeah, damn is right, Ira. Nah, it was, just trying to make a play, towards the end of the game. I'm not a shot blocker, but I try to make some plays down the stretch to help us win. I do that for sure. Just made a play.
Feels like one of those nights where if you did it in regulation or the third overtime, whatever it took to just stop that losing streak was the mentality coming in.
No, for sure. That's really our mentality on this entire road trip. We're 2 games below 500 now. We want to be able to go 3 up, 3 up, 3 up, 3 down on this trip, get us back to 500 going to the homestand.
There's a familiar look there that there was a number 22 who was taking charge at the end of the game, being able to impose his will in Wiggins, and then having the stones to make the 3 free throws at the end of regulation. What was it like to finally see him have his moment and sort of make that step forward?
We're all rooting for Wiggs, man. Great guy. We love him in here, and super happy to have him. He's just going to continue to get more comfortable with everything we're doing, and we're trying to feed as much life and much confidence into him as possible. So really happy for him. We got another game where we're going to really need his contribution on Sunday. We got to bounce back. It was a great win, and it's going to be another one on Sunday.
It seemed at the end of this game, a certain number 22 looked like another 22 with the poise he had at the end of the game to help play as a closer. Your thoughts on that moment by Andrew?
Yeah, it was really important. They were draped all over Tyler, and we actually were able to get some pretty good mileage on the 2-man action between Tyler and Bam. But then they were loading up, so we were just, throwing the ball to Wiggs and letting him make some plays. And he had 2 really good post-ups, going down the stretch. It shows you his skill level, and that's something that we need, another guy that can just throw the ball to, and he can go make something happen. That drive he had down the stretch going to his left, great finish. And then the 2-way basketball on the other side, really had some key defensive stops against, some clever offensive players. Barrett and Quickly both know how to score, but also draw fouls. And he was able to get, some good, stops without fouling, making the shots tough. We're all just really happy for him, and we're excited. Now we're able to see a little bit of what this can look like. Defensively, I thought we were, pretty good all the way through. And then offensively, even though, we didn't put up a lot of points in that fourth quarter, there was more intention. And we'll get better with that. Now that there's more clarity, there's role clarity, there's role definition, guys will get more comfortable and confident.
Even with all that attention, Tyler is showing that even against that, at moments of truth, like in the fourth with the 3 and other plays, and even in the overtime, the way he can step forward against anything and that kind of attention.
Yeah, Barnes is a dynamic, huge defender, and Tyler's skill level now is such that he can do it in a lot of different ways. He can not just do it in pick and rolls; he can do it on the move, which he had to do a lot of that tonight. And then you get down the stretch in close games, he loves those moments, to have the ball in his hands with the responsibility to make a play, a positive play for your team. And he did a lot of those, down the stretch. A lot of it, was passing. And even the one at the end of regulation, he went just a count too early. But I understand what he was doing. That was the only window he could have gotten with Barnes. Otherwise, he would have been jammed up, with kind of a home run play at the end. But I thought that was a great play to get in the paint, kick out. And I thought we got, 2 good looks at it. Bam got one in his wheelhouse, and Wiggs almost had the tip in.
Speaking of that play, a lot of times after a player misses a shot at the end of the regulation, he might hang his head. But Bam instead got the first 2 baskets of overtime and really set the tone for overtime. Guarded Barnes for a while in a very small lineup again. Your thoughts on Bam's overall performance?
Yeah, he's just a great competitor. So he's not going to get deterred, by missing a shot or, not having something go his way. He's going to find a way to impact the game. And that's exactly right. Down the stretch, it was two-man action. And in the start of the overtime, Tyler was playmaking and giving it to Bam. Those were not like the easiest shots either, taking it on the catch. They're rotating the third guy, and he was able to put a couple buckets in. And then, yeah, when they go super small, you have somebody, like Bam that now can guard all the way across the board. That's a luxury that we certainly do not take for granted.
You've also spoken how this is the anything necessary time of season. You went with a very tight 8-man rotation early. Burks a little bit in the first half. Anderson stabilizing in the second half. We didn't see Jaime. What was your thought on the tight rotation and the way you went through the rotation?
Yeah, and it could differ, game to game. But, I want to create, a little bit of clarity as much as we can right now. And everybody just has to stay ready. Look, we have to make some things happen. And it'll be all hands on deck. We feel very comfortable with our depth, and we saw that depth. Burks gave us some important minutes in the first half, and then Kyle, his minutes. Those are not easy. You don't play all the way through, but that shows you how mentally tough and smart he is. That he can come into a game like that and immediately make an impact. And what he brings to the table is something that I think our team can use. We'll just have to figure it out, if we can get to it consistently or not.
Coach, in overtime, Tyler got a hit somewhere, got his elbow tweaked. It was really bugging him, but literally spins around, gets back, and ends up getting what is a critical block down on the other end. That's going to be an awesome bit of Tylerness to have.
Yeah, and the head coach likes that, to basically seal the game with a defensive play. He made enough offensive plays, but he's improved on that end of the floor too, and that's what he wants. He wants to be viewed as a two-way basketball player, somebody that can impact the game in a lot of different ways, not just scoring, but can do it with playmaking, can do it with defense, can do it with rebounding. That's what real basketball players are. All right, thank you. Oh,
Can I one last one? All right. We all know about the famous heat culture and philosophy behind it, and obviously this franchise has many successful partnerships with star players, but also some that ended less smoothly. Now, if you could summarize, what qualities does a player need to fit into this team and maximize his contribution?
We'll try to be as respectful as possible. I think we've talked about our culture enough. I think there's been enough written about and said about our culture. There's nothing really more to add. We know who we are, and we're just focused on getting this group, to a higher level. All right, appreciate you.